Now, the Prime Minister has said she wants jaw-jaw with Spain rather than war-war after suggestions she would fight for Gibraltar. But have relations with Spain already been damaged by Lord Howe's suggestion that Theresa May would defend the British territory just as Margaret Thatcher did with the Falklands? Well, joining me now from Gibraltar is the chairperson of the political group Defenders of Gibraltar, Anne-Marie Struggles, and from Madrid, international relations analyst at the University of Madrid, Professor Alana Mosseri. Very good to see you both. And let me start with you, Anne-Marie Struggles. As I say, you're one of the defenders of Gibraltar. If it came to taking up arms, as Lord Howard might have been suggesting, do you think it would come to that? Or do you think, Lord Howard has gone too far here?
I think that it's been very good that UK has actually come out so strong in defence of us. However, everybody would not want this to end in war. And I think there is no need for that. There is a time for dialogue and, we should dialogue.
Jaw. Alana Mosseri, what's your reaction to that tone struck by Lord Howard? Parallels with British actions to retake the Falklands from Argentina?
It's been pretty unfortunate to hear this kind of sort of hysterical warmongering here in Madrid. It's been a bit surreal today. And I think it's also unfortunate because this is coming from former politicians, not from the actual government. But that message gets mixed with foreign audiences. And it's something that's really important to remember. These things, of course, get translated and sent out across the Spanish media, and people hear it and are upset. It's upsetting. And I think it gives us a really strong reminder of why the European Union was created in the first place, right? Was to become more prosperous together and to not have so much war with each other. And now, just days into Brexit, we're already hearing warmongering kind of statements. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, well, it is all being damped down. Let's talk about the jaw part of it, Anne-Marie Struggles. Do you accept, though, that it may end up way further down the line that Gibraltar may be a sticking point to an otherwise good deal for the United Kingdom as a whole, and the Spanish may say we want joint sovereignty or something like that, and a British Prime Minister has to decide between a good deal for the whole of the UK and the future of Gibraltar?
I think that our sovereignty, as you're saying, has nothing to do at all with the EU. That is something that the EU has no right to intervene and has no right to start using us as a pawn for negotiation. And I think that is what has gone wrong. UK should be getting the best deal possible, and Gibraltar is a part of that. Remember that we are a special member of the EU, and we entered in 73, and Spain didn't enter till 83. So Gibraltar has to play a part in negotiations, and it has to be for the best for us, for our trade and our people. Remember that both Spain and Gibraltar have benefited from having an open frontier and from being in the EU. And, we have over 12,000 workers that come over the border to work here. And I think that less war and more dialogue without putting pressure on Gibraltar, on our sovereignty and or our nationality. EU has nothing to do at all. It's not up to them to decide anything about Gibraltar, and that's what has gone wrong. UK has been very sensitive to Spain, and when they have made the call to do the Brexit, they didn't include Gibraltar so as not to upset things. Because remember, Gibraltar is part of UK. So why now the EU has caused this division? Of course it's upset us all.
Alana Mosseri, what's your assessment, though, of how strong a position the UK is in these negotiations when we've heard from all the politicians on all sides in the UK, Gibraltar will be fine, but it's all about the hand it holds in this poker game?
Well, and that's the thing that I think is really unfortunate for the people of Gibraltar, because they're the ones who should be at the center of this debate. But what we're seeing is the UK and Spain, we've got these just horrible statements coming out of the UK. As I understand it, Prime Minister May included Scotland in that letter, but didn't include Gibraltar. It seemed like it was just a way to not include it. I'm not really sure what the intention was. But certainly we want to see more negotiation. On the side of Spain, there's been some moral relativity going on with, well, now maybe we'll support Scotland if they want to join the EU or not, and that sort of thing. And so none of it's helping, because really when it comes down to it, it's what is best for the people of Gibraltar. And we know that the people of Gibraltar in their hearts feel very close to the UK. That's important. That needs to be recognized. And at the same time, they're a close neighbor of Spain. And as Anne-Marie was saying, there's been a lot of business being done together. There's a border that's shared. That's also very important. And so antagonizing Spain doesn't help anything. It needs to be the UK and Spain and Gibraltar sitting down at the table and coming up with an agreement that works for everyone.
Yeah, Anne-Marie Struggles agreeing with that. But Anne-Marie Struggles, let me put this to you. I mean, Gibraltar, along with Scotland, along with Northern Ireland, voted quite strongly, Gibraltar also, to remain part of the EU. Now, Scotland and Northern Ireland have been told that they have to leave with the rest of the UK come what may. Well, Gibraltar doesn't. If you accepted Spanish sovereignty, you could stay in the EU.
No way. That's what everybody's getting all upset about. Gibraltar's not up for sale. Gibraltar's not up for negotiating. We are British. We want to continue British, and we will be forever British until there comes a time when people may choose otherwise. But I can tell you very strongly that Gibraltar wants to remain British, but we want to determine our own future. And we want to be a part of these negotiations because obviously we have the cross-border frontier and we want to be the ones to decide. Now, we're not saying to have special agreements. What we're saying is take into account the following. Okay. We have a border that needs free movement. We have people who need to work. We have businesses on both sides that are flourishing. We have a stable economy. The Andalusia has never been so flourished as it is now because of an open frontier.
Message loud and clear. We'll leave you to deal with that phone. We've come to an end anyway. Anne-Marie Struggles and Anna Mosseri. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Very good to talk to you both.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.